Welcome to Zero Authority. We are freeholders. We are a community of hodlers building for hodlers. We started this group as a way to contribute to Freehold and educate people about apps built on Bitcoin powered by Stacks. We cover topics in the Stacks ecosystem and interesting developments in the crypto world. Today, we want to cover everything that's been talked about multiple times, but we wanted to show it from a different angle. We wanted to talk about El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin, and we wanted to talk about something else and the immortalization of the first message for El Salvador on the blockchain. We wanted to cover the market as a whole. We wanted to cover the .btc domains, and these are very cool. We wanted to talk about DeFi and total value locked. We want to talk about DeFi Pulse. We also want to give a mention that startups.btc, the Stacks startups accelerator, is off and running. And we wanted to mention you should sign up for Web3 startups. And if you're looking for a job and looking to work and get involved in Web3 companies or startups, there is a survey running right now on Block Survey, and people can get dialed in. We wanted to talk about Solana. We wanted to talk about Uniswap, DeFi. First and foremost, big congrats to El Salvador and the president. BTC adoption has begun, and we knew that this cycle could see adoption, and we saw it from the institutions and some sovereign wealth funds. Now we're seeing it from the first country, and there were other ones like Paraguay and some other players in South America that have also come out to support Bitcoin, and El Salvador, their government ratified the change, and so it is illegal. It is legal to as a tender and a currency in El Salvador now. So this has far-reaching implications because no one wants to be the first, no one wants to be the last, as we know how these things work. But something really interesting as well as this has been immortalized on the blockchain, and so we see the message written into the block. Dario, El Salvador, 9th June 2021. Assemble a prueba la ley Bitcoin. So this is the first country to ratify. Their country accepts Bitcoin as a legal tender. So that doesn't mean that US dollar is going to go away and that they don't accept it anymore. Their reserve currency is still the US dollar. What a ride for Bitcoin. As everyone has heard, the death cross is looming and the death cross is close. I mean, we're really in unprecedented territory and uncharted waters. I mean, we've never seen a death cross in a bull market, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because we could have a significant bounce, and we'll see what happens. But as I suspect, we will probably see that death cross, and we will see how this is going to play out. And if it does, be ready to put your bids in and scoop up as much Bitcoin as possible. And the beauty of having the decimal system and being able to break Bitcoin into 1 million Satoshis is that even if you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, you can still reap the rewards, and Bitcoin is the best crypto asset out there, and make no mistake about it. And I know there's a lot of conversations about, will Ethereum flip Bitcoin, but no one knows what's going to happen in the near term, maybe the long term, maybe 5 years, 10 years from now, Ethereum will become the #1 blockchain. Or, I mean, there's Cardano or Solana, or definitely Stacks. We believe Stacks will will be one of the blockchains that exists in the future. But this is the death cross looms. There's nothing to be afraid of. If if you have leverage in your trading, it's a good time to probably not do that. If you're an experienced trader, do what you think is best for you. Remember, this is not financial advice. And what we do want to remind people is that even though these events occur, this has nothing to do with the value of Bitcoin. The price does not dictate the value. So even in the stock to flow ratio, we've seen it's gone up and down and sideways, but we believe it's still on track, and we believe that the value will accrue to the network over time. And so even though in the day-to-day it looks very bearish and it looks like the price could go down, but when you look at it and you zoom out, look how much growth we've had, and look how far we've gone. I mean, this cycle is going to be another blip on the radar. As you can see what happened. Remember back in 2008, I don't know if you were around, but we were definitely around, and we lost a lot of money because we weren't quite as aware of these cycles and the halving schedule and how they play out. But look at this today. It's a blip on the radar. And as I very well believe 10 years into the future, this is these are all going to seem like little dots on the charts. So uh, no need to panic, but if if the time comes, make sure to put those buy orders. Make sure with using the hash ribbons, this gives you the best times to buy Bitcoin and the best time to load up on some of your favorite alts. We love stacks. We buy stacks. We are hodlers. We are a community of hodlers. We believe in apps built on Bitcoin. We believe NFTs built on Bitcoin and DeFi built on Bitcoin. And we believe it's happening with stacks. And looking at the Pi cycle indicator, it's looking like it could very well play out like the 2013-14 cycle. I think it's very similar in certain ways, but as a lot of people will opine and talk about, the cycles may be lengthening. So here we saw that it was a couple months from peak to peak, but we will probably not see that again. And in the current cycle, it may play out where it's going to be over 900 days, and so from the peak, from this short hill, I wouldn't say it was a peak. From here to the next one, it can be well over maybe 90, 100 days until we start another a cycle leg up and then take us into June. We don't know. We're not TA experts. We like to look at the charts. We like to look at what the Ben Cowens of the world are saying, and we like to speculate and think about what they're talking about and what makes sense for our portfolio. But the best thing to do is hodl. The best thing, we've never sold any of our stacks. We hodl our Bitcoin, we hodl our stacks, and those are smart strategies. Pick one, stick with it. But as you can see in the Pi cycle, it looks like it could be a double peak. Another cool update, .btc domains are live, and so Muni put out a tweet, and you can see that people are starting to buy and use .btc domains. And so if you see it behind people's names, you could see ours behind .btc. This means that people are using those domains. Patrick put out a tweet. Someone's going to create a DeFi ranking board that shows every asset, even Bitcoin DeFi. And so this was in response to Pomp's tweet about DeFi Pulse doesn't list Bitcoin DeFi projects like Sovereign or Stacks. If we look at DeFi Pulse, we could see we have Aave, Maker, Compound, Curve, Uniswap, DAI, XDAI, and a whole host of other DeFi projects. But what's missing? Stacks, Sovereign. So DeFi Bitcoin is going to be a real movement DAOs, DeFi Bitcoin, NFT Bitcoin, and even DAOs on Bitcoin. This is going to be another movement in the coming weeks and coming months that we're going to start to talk about. We can now build DeFi lending, borrowing, derivatives, payments on Bitcoin, and we can build applications on Bitcoin, and we can build DeFi on Bitcoin with Stacks, and Stacks is incredible. And we really think the future is going to be built on Bitcoin. Just a reminder, Stacks Accelerator is off and running, so make sure to check out the latest updates. Trevor put out a tweet a couple of days ago and during the Bitcoin conference down in Miami, and was saying that the projects coming out of Stacks startup accelerator are going to be phenomenal, and it's going to add tremendous value to the network. Keep your eyes open for the upcoming announcements and events coming out of Stacks Accelerator. Exciting things happening there. Also, if you're looking to work in Web3 or at a Web3 startup, there is going to be the Stacks Accelerator job fair so check that out. Make sure you get plugged in. Even just knowing about it is going to put you well ahead of people that are wanting to work in Web3 and they're not sure how. At least sign up and attend. Solana raises $314 million to develop their blockchain and their ecosystem. Solana has come so far so fast, and the community, the ecosystem continues tremendous growth. There's been a lot of TikTokers covering Solana in the last couple weeks here, and it's starting to grow a really cool following. We're seeing this raise from Andreessen Horowitz, their crypto fund, and there were a lot of other venture capital funds in that raise as well. But adding over 300 million to your war chest is no small feat. So we'll see what happens coming out of this building the ecosystem and incubating their startup ecosystem, similar to Stacks, but Stacks has planned this for months and months, and Solana seems to be following that similar playbook to develop the ecosystem and develop some key applications and decentralized applications in their ecosystem. Uniswap DeFi is lobbying for a proposal from Consensus, and it has support from Consensus. So Consensus is supporting the proposal to provide organizations with access to capital for compliance and law. And so this is going to be much needed on the policy and the regulatory scene. And at first it seemed like, I believe it's Harvard behind it, and it seemed like just some suits was behind the proposal and putting their capital behind it. But when we took another read through of the TLDR, we believe that this is the right track to fund policy and regulatory requirements and get these people into the conversations, as opposed to always being behind the 8 ball. Maybe there is some release of some new features, or there's a new movement in the crypto space, and then the SEC is catching up and the regulators are saying this should be outlawed. Well, this is going to provide capital for policymakers to get injected into those conversations. And so while the direct benefactors of this proposal are going to be in the know of the latest developments in the Uniswap or Ethereum ecosystem, and it will have far-reaching implications as well. But this will be good for crypto as a whole to get regulatory guidance and be able to partner with regulatory bodies to provide language and provide clarity on where we're headed with crypto assets as a whole and property rights. Also, remember, Zero Authority is doing an NFT giveaway. So we created our first NFTs on Boom Wallet, and we're going to give away number 9 and 10. We've had a great amount of signups. We've even had someone sign up from STX China. So really cool, really interested to see the growth, and we're looking forward to giving this away for free. And so if you're interested, we'll provide the link below, but go to Reddit, sign up on the link. This is totally free. We're not asking for any money. Watch out for scammers. And we just want to give back to the community. We really like Stacks. We love the ecosystem. We love the community. We love the positivity that is here every day. And people building, we enjoy that. We want to be a part of the builders and the hodlers, and so we want to give these away and reward